Hi guys, good evening. So in the last session, we have done the lab setup. So today we'll do the basic configurations. So first of all, we are going to see, how you will manage your FTD using the FDM, and then we'll see how you will integrate your FTD with the FMC. So basic configurations of your FTD as well as FMC we are going to see today. And then also we will see how we will just integrate FMC, like we will have our FMC in the ESXi, and then how we will integrate the FMC in the ESXi with the FTD in the EVNG. Okay. So let me start the lab. So let's power off this lab. FTD, yeah. Let's bring up all the nodes. So basic configuration of the inside, outside DMZ and management devices we have done. Only FMC and FTD configurations are remaining. Okay, so let's bring up all the devices inside R1. Then inside R2. And then we have DMZ server. Outside R1. And outside R2. Okay. And let's also take access of inside PC. Management PC. ADDNS. Okay. And then we will take access of FTD as well as FMC. Okay. Now, first of all, we'll just bring up, we know that in EVNG, what will happen? The interface of the routers that will be in the down state. Okay, so we'll bring all the interfaces up. So for this, I'll open Notepad. Enable configuration terminal. I think the link you provided has the images, but a little bit old. We don't have any problem in using old images. Yeah, they will be just see what all the devices we will be using in the CCI. So you will find all the same things there, right? Yeah. So there will be minor updates in interface 0 by 0, no shutdown. This is one resource I have shared so that you don't have to look for images in different places. Copy. This is inside our inside R2. Inside our BMC. Outside R1. And outside R2. These are all the devices. So from inside to inside connectivity, I will check. Ping 10.1.1.126. So you can see I'm able to ping here. And if I try to ping my inside PC, so let's see, will I be able to ping or not? If I say ping 10.1.1. So here I'm able to ping. Okay, so the inside communication is there. Then let's check on the outside also. Ping 11.1.1.126. So we do have the communication. DMZ side between management PC and ADDNS, I will check. This is our management PC. Test 1, 2, 3. So here, let me check. IP address is assigned here. And if I say ping 10.3.3.100, so yes, I do have the communication here also. So inside communication is fine, outside communication is fine, and management communication is also fine. Now let's check the FTD. So our FTD is up. Okay, FTD is up, and FMC. Okay, FMC is also up. Great. Now, for the first thing that we will do is we are going to see. Okay, the first thing that we are going to see is that how we can manage the FTD via FMC. So first we will do the basic configuration of the FTD, and then we will see how you can manage this FTD via FDM. And then after we will integrate it with FMC and we'll do the management using FMC. Okay. So let's go to the FTD. And here we will do the configuration. The text is visible, right, to everyone? Okay, great. See here. So it's asking us to log in. So we have to give here default credentials. So what are the default credentials? Okay. Default credentials. So what are the default credentials? So if you are using Windows PC or AD, okay, so for Windows PC and AD server, the default password is what? test 1 to 3. Okay. For FTD as well as FMC. Okay. For FTD FMC, username is admin. Password is admin 1 to 3. Okay. These are the default credentials. Now, let's go to the FTD. Here, I'll say username is admin, password is admin 1 to 3. Okay. So for some reason, this is the wrong image. It says NGFW. This is not the correct image. What about FMC then? Yeah, FMC image is correct. FTD image is not correct. I have to power off. And I have to change the image. Add it. And this one we have to select FTD 6.2.3. Start it. This is not. This is an NGFW image by mistake we selected yesterday. Okay. So in place of this, we have to use FTD. Firepower. FTD. Management interface. Okay. Then we have Z0/0 on the inside. Then we have Z0/2. Sorry, Z0/1 on the DMZ side. And Z0/2 on the outside. Now, let's bring up everything. FTD 6.2.3. This image is starting. So I'll remove this one. See, for some reason, this is not starting. Sometimes this will happen with the EVNG. Okay. We have to stop all these again. Management. Z0 by 0. 0 by 1. 0 by 2. Okay. Now let's bring it up. So this is starting now. Now let's start the rest of the devices. So this will take some time to come up. It will take time. The lab deployment part is going to be a bit slower. And once we will be done with the lab deployment, after that, there will be waiting when we will deploy the policies. Okay. So in FTD, we will have to wait while the deployments and right now when we are setting up the lab. Yes, while this FTD is coming up, we can do one thing, that is we can go and configure the AD as a DNS server. Okay. So meanwhile, when FTD is coming up, let's complete this thing first. So yesterday we had already changed the name of the system. We assigned the IP address. Okay. We turned off the firewall. All those things we have already done. Okay. So today we will just make it as an AD and then we will configure the DNS. And by then our FTD will be up. This is the server manager application. Now here, click on local server. And right now you'll see this is in work group. Okay. Right now this system is in work group. And before bringing it to AD, Active Directory, we will go and just change this time zone. Let's make it correct. Change the time zone. It's Kolkata. Say okay. So time is a bit not correct. Click here again. Change date and time. So the time right now is 8:26. Okay. Let's say okay. This is done. So it should reflect here. It's refreshing. Now, right now this is in work group. So what we'll do, we'll change it to AD. So we'll say manage and add roles and features. Then click on next here. Again, next. Okay, so, and you should make sure that whatever the IP you have set, so that should reflect here. Okay, correct IP should reflect here. And then click on next. Here you have to select Active Directory Domain Services. And as a requirement of AD, automatically DNS will be installed. But you can also check it. That is also fine. Okay, even if you don't check it, it will be installed by itself. Then click on next. Again, next, next, next. And here click on restart the destination server automatically if required. Click yes and click on install. Now this AD role will be installed here. Okay, the AD role is going to install. Okay, so once the installation is done, next thing what you have to do, you have to click here, promote this server to a domain controller. So just click here. And here you have to click on add a new forest. And here we will give the domain name. So let's say I'm working in Cisco. So I'll give here cisco.com. Okay. Cisco.com. Then click on next. Here you have to give a password. So let's say I'll give again test123. Test123. Click on next. Click on next again. If everything is correct so far, then here you will see Cisco, the net BIOS name. So we can see here. Now click on next. Okay. Click on next. Okay, so this is what we have configured so far. Okay, this is what we have configured so far. So if everything looks okay, you'll click on next. Now it will perform a prerequisite check. Okay, and if everything is good, we will get this install option here. So we can see that all prerequisite check passed successfully. Click install. So we'll just click on install. And now this server will be converted from work group to AD. Initially, while deployment, there will be a lot of waiting. Okay. So once it will be converted into a AD, it will automatically restart. Now it will start all the AD services and everything. So again, it's going to take some time. Now just click here. And you see, earlier we were just seeing the name administrator. Okay. Earlier we were just seeing the name administrator, and now I see my domain as well as my username. Okay, so password will remain same. That's 123. And it says your password has expired, must be changed. Say okay. So let's keep it sys 0123. Sys 0123. Right. Password has been changed. Sign in. So now the new password that we have set here. Password is 0123. So now our AD has started. Now what, we'll configure this server as a DNS server. Okay. Let it refresh. And now if I go to local server, you will see instead of workgroup here, we will see the domain name. See, now what, go to tools, and from the tools, go to DNS. Okay, so basically this server has been already configured as a DNS server. We just need to go and add an entry for FMC and FTD. For FMC and FTD, we will just go and add an entry. So click here on the AD DNS, expand it, forward lookup zone, then your domain name cisco.com. So click on the cisco.com, and here you can see one entry is there for the AD DNS. Okay, and now just right click here and click on add new host. Okay, and here, what is the name you want to use? So first of all, I will give a FTD entry. So I'll say FTD. And what is the management IP of my FTD? 10.3.3.3.3.10. Click on add host. Okay, and then same thing for the FMC, which is FMC IP is 10.3.3.62. So this will be 10.3.3.62. Click on add. Add it. Now, AD side configuration, we are done. Now let's go to the management PC. This is our management PC. Okay. And now using this management PC, we have to go and access our FTD. Okay, but for FTD management, we have to go and do the basic configuration of your FTD first. So let's go and do the FTD basic configuration. So this is our FTD. Log in with the default username password. So admin 123. Okay, so here you must see that this is what Firepower threat defense. Okay, now once you log in, it will ask you to accept the end user license agreement. Click on enter and just keep on clicking the space button. Okay, so keep on pressing space button, but don't press it too much also. Okay, just keep on pressing until this license agreement finishes. Now here, what you can do, you can either enter yes or just press enter to accept. So I'll press enter. Now it will ask me for new password for the admin user. So new password, same password I'll set, sys0123. Sys0123. Okay, so let's mention this thing here also. That here also new password that we have configured. That is sys0123. Okay. So here in the FTD. Now it says you must configure the network. Okay. You must configure the network to continue, and you must configure at least one of the IPv4 or IPv6. So now it's asking you that do you want to configure IPv6? Okay. Okay, we have to restart it because it's not showing that line. Before it will ask you for IPv4. Okay. We will have to restart it. Okay. So how do you want to configure your IPv4 IP address? See, before this line, do you want to configure IPv6? Before this line, it will ask you, do you want to configure IPv4? So there you will say yes. And in the IPv6, I said no. Okay. Now it's asking me that configure IPv4 via DHCP or manual. So by default, it is taking manual only. So let me see. I want to configure manual. Enter. Now, what is the management interface IP address? It is 10.3.3.10. Okay, what is the subnet mask? Subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. So I'll keep it default. What will be the gateway? So gateway, let's say I'll give a management PC IP address 10.3.3.101. What should be the fully qualified host name? So host name for this is FTD only. DNS server. So here my DNS server will be 10.3.3.100. This is my DNS server. Any domain you're looking for, so you can say like, okay, I'm into the domain cisco.com. Okay. Now it's asking me whether I want to manage the device locally. So if I will say that, yes, I want to manage the device locally, automatically my FDM will be configured. Okay, automatically what will happen? FDM will be configured. Okay, and if I say no, then by default, there will be no manager configured. And later on, we have to go and add FMC here. Okay, so first of all, let's go with the FDM management. So I'll say yes, enter, and you see automatically my firewall mode has been configured to routed mode. So we know that there are two modes in a firewall, routed and transparent, right? What is the difference between routed mode and transparent mode? What is the difference? Now here you can check the management interface IP address and everything. So if you use ASA command like show interface IP brief, okay, show interface IP brief. So you'll not really find the IP address that you have configured. Okay. You're not really going to find the IP address that you have configured on the management interface. How you will see it? You will see it using the command show network. When you give the show network command, then you find the IP address, management IP address, as well as what is the manager IP address, and all those things you'll find. So you can see that this is the host name FTD, then domain is cisco.com, DNS server is 10.3.3.100, gateway is this. This is the management interface IP address 10.3.3.10. Okay. And if you see default management port is what? Your FTD as well as FMC, they will use the default management port 8305. Okay. Then after, right now, if you check that what are the managers configured, so you can use the command show managers. So it will tell you who is your manager. So right now it is saying that your FTD is being managed locally. Okay, local manager means your FDM, and remote manager means your FMC. Okay. Remember, with the help of FDM, you can manage only one FTD firewall. Okay, with the help of FDM, you can manage only one FTD firewall. Okay, but with the help of FMC, you can manage multiple Firepower devices. So now let's go and manage your firewall using the FDM. So let me access the management PC. Now from management PC, let me check the connectivity to my, I'll go and check the connectivity to my FTD. So I'll say ping 10.3.3.10. And you can see I do have connectivity, right? I do have connectivity with my FTD. Now, let's open a browser. Okay. And here, simply just type HTTPS. Okay, if you try to go with the HTTP, see what will happen. Then 3.3.10. If you try to go with the HTTP, see what happens. No access, right? Okay, you can see I don't have access when I go with the HTTP. Why? Because FTD is a firewall, right? Security device. Yeah, since it's not secure, correct. Okay. So we'll say HTTPS : and now you see we do have access. Okay, so it says connection is not secure. Why? Because this is because of the certificate. So I'll go to advanced. I'll say add exception, confirm security exception, and you will have UI of your FDM. You can see this is Firepower device manager. Okay, so now here I can log in. Here I can log in my FTD firewall. So I'll use the username password. So username is what? Admin, and the new password we configured is sys0123. Don't save. This is loading. Okay. Now here's we are facing like a little bit of resolution problem. So let me do one thing. I'll take a RDP access. Okay, rather than taking a VNC access, I'll take a RDP access of this PC, management PC. Okay, let me just stop it. Add it. And from here, instead of console VNC, I'll select RDP. Save it. Power it on. Now what? We will have RDP. Okay. So click here. This RDP file is downloaded. Open this file. Click on connect. It will ask username, password. So username will be user and password will be test123. Okay. See. So here the password will be test123. Click on OK. Now if I open the browser here, and you see network here, network means you have connectivity with your gateway. So click here. Now let's access https://1033.10. Okay. So here, if you see here, see with the FDM, what is the scenario that it's asking me about configuration. And here by default, what will happen? It will consider that your Z0/1 interface, it is connected to the inside network, and Z0/0 interface, it's connected to the ISP or WIN. That means the outside. Okay. It says Z0/0 is outside and Z0/1 is what? It is the inside. But in our lab, what is the scenario? 0/0 on the inside and 0/2 on the outside. 0/1 is in the DMZ. Correct? Now what to do? So what you can do from here, you can just click here and skip the device setup. Okay, you can skip the device setup. And there are two rules already available Okay, one is trust the outbound traffic. That means trust the traffic that is going from inside to outside and block all the other traffic. Okay, so right now I'll just click on skip device configuration. Now it's asking me about license. So I can start a 90 days evaluation license here. And I can click on confirm. Okay. Now, once you have done this, your 90 days evaluation license is enabled. Now we can go and configure what our interfaces. Because by default, again, you can see inside network, it is considering Z0/1 and outside it is considering Z0/0. So we can go here on the interfaces. Okay. And whatever the interface you want to add it, let's say I'll just Z0/1, this is not an inside interface. So I'll first of all edit this one. Z0/1 interface is which interface? My DMZ interface. And what is the IP address here? 10.2.2.10. Okay. So let's go to the Z0/1 interface. Click on edit. And here I'll name this interface as DMZ. Okay. And static IP address that I want to assign here, 10.2.2.10. Okay. And then simply click on active. And right now you see here, there is a DHCP configured here. So I'll just delete it. I don't want to configure any DHCP on this interface. Okay. Then I'll click on OK. Says the interface name should not contain uppercase letters. Okay. So just give it in the lowercase only. DMZ and click on OK. IP address and everything is already configured here. This is configured as DMZ. Now I can go here. And this is my inside interface. Okay. And IP address static. On the inside, I will use 10.1.1, 10 IP address and subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Okay. Click on OK. So inside is configured, DMZ is configured. Now I can go and configure the outside interface as well. Outside, the IP address is 11.1.1, 10, 255.255.255.0. And status of the interface is up. Click on OK. Okay. Configured the IP addresses. Now, if I go and check on the FTD itself, that is my IP address reflecting here. Sorry. Okay, if I go and check here whether my IP address is reflecting here or not. So I can check store interface IP brief. And you can see still it's not reflecting. Why it's not reflecting? Because right now, whatever the changes we have made, right? So this is stored in kind of RAM, you can say, or it is stored as a template. Now we have to push that template to the device. Okay, we have to push this template into the device. Okay, so what we'll do, you see this button here, deployment. So just click here on the deployment button and you can click on deploy now. Okay, so now the deployment is going on. See, right now how I'm accessing it using the IP address, but I have already configured the domain name and DNS server, right? So now what I can do, even I can access this FTD using the ftd.cisco.com. Okay, using the host name also I can access it. So once this deployment will complete, so like I said, deployment, we have to wait. It will take time. We can configure almost everything using the FDM, but we cannot configure your firewall in the transparent mode. Okay, so the deployment is successful, and if you want to see, what was the deployment thing, so here it is not really showing anything. Okay, now if I go and check in the FTD, okay, so you will find that, okay, all the IP addresses and everything is reflecting now. Okay, and like I said, that here
right now I'm accessing using what IP address. We can also access it using domain name. So I can say https://ftd.cisco.com. And this will be the same thing. Add exception, confirm security exception. Now I'm accessing it using the domain name. Okay. I can say admin sys0123 and login. Okay, so this is how you can do the basic configurations. The wait time depends on, yeah, it does depend on resources. Okay, but still it will take time. Okay, it is going to take time. Okay. Okay, now we'll see how you will integrate it with your FMC. Okay, so let me just keep it short. Okay, minimize it. Now, if you want to manage it using FMC, okay, so first of all, let's see how you'll do the basic configuration of FMC. So this is my FMC. Do I have it here? No. Click on FMC. Now here, and you see, I have logged into the FMC. Now in FMC, right now we are logged in with the standard user. Okay, you can see this dollar symbol. That means it's a standard user. So to configure the management network, we need root privileges. Okay, so what you'll do, you will use the command sudo su. Then you will give your password, admin123. And now you can see I'm logged in with the root user. And here I will give a command, configure network. Now it's asking, do you want to configure IPv4? I'll say yes. What is the management IP address of the FMC? So FMC management IP address is 10.3.3.62. Net mask is this. What is the gateway? Gateway is my FTD. Is this configuration correct? Yes, this is correct. Do you want to configure IPv6? No, I don't want to configure IPv6. Okay. So now management IP address will be configured. And now what I can do is I can go and test the connectivity. And 33.62. So you can see now I have the access. Here I'll open a new tab. And here also I can use the FMC hostname that I have configured. So fmc.cisco.com. Where I have configured this, I have configured this in the DNS server. Okay, so either you can use this or you can go with https://1033.62 IP address also you can give. So FMC, when it will come up for the first time, it will take some time. Okay, advanced, add exception, confirm security exception. Okay, so it's asking about username and password. Okay. So username is admin and password is admin123.
Now here, you will give the new password. So new password is Cisco 0123. Okay. Cisco 0123. Then management IP address and everything is already there. Here hostname, I will say FMC. Domain is cisco.com. Primary DNS server. So the DNS server is 10.3.100. Okay, then right now here you can see my time zone is incorrect. So we will set the correct time zone. Asia, and in Asia we will go with the Kolkata. Click on save. Okay, once it is updated, you can save down. And here we have Asia, Kolkata. Okay. Then after scroll down, and it's asking a license. So right now we will not add any sort of license or anything. Just click here. I have read. Click on apply. So now it will say take some time again. FMC will be like this only. Okay, it will be slow and will take time. Meanwhile, what we can do is we can see right now your FTD is being managed locally, right? FTD. The FTD is right now being managed locally. So if I say show managers, so it will show you it is being managed locally. So first of all, we have to remove from FDM. So we have to say configure manager delete. Configure manager delete. Okay. So it is telling that, if you have enabled any licenses and all, so you have to go and disable it. But right now we don't care about it. We'll say, yes, we want to continue. Meanwhile, we can check this side also. FMC will still take time. During this initial deployment and the integration only, it will take a long time. Now let's say show managers again. Once the initial configuration and initial deployment is done, after that, it will take time, but it will take like just 2 minutes and all, but it will not take 5 minutes and this kind of long time. So right now here you see no managers configured. So if you want to integrate your FTD with the FMC, what you will give the command? You will say configure manager add, and what is the manager IP address? 10.3.3.62, and we have to configure a registration key. So registration key, you can configure anything. Here I'm configuring it Cisco. So okay, and while this is being added, FMC is also coming up. Add exception. Add security exception. Okay, so here I can log in it. I can say admin, and password is sys01. Now again, it might take some time for starting the services. Okay, and here this side, it is telling you that please make sure of the registration key, as this will be required while adding the device in the FMC. So this registration key, whatever you will configure, this will be required. And now if I give the show managers command, so you can see manager is 10.3.3.62 and registration is pending. And this is your FMC dashboard. Now here, what you have to do is just go to the, see, whatever you will see on the right hand side, this is FMC related configuration, and whatever you see on the left hand side, that will be FTD related configuration. So right now, first of all, let's go and enable the license. So go to the system, license, and smart license. Here we have to enable the evaluation license. So we'll just say evaluation mode, click on yes. And now we are in the evaluation mode. Once this is done, now we will integrate the FTD here. So we'll go to the devices and device management. Okay, here right now there is no device. I'll click on add and I will add a device. Now the device IP address is 10.3.3.10. This is the FTD IP address. Name is FTD. What is the registration key? So there we configured the registration key Cisco. Access control policy. So right now there is no policy. Okay, so here just I'll configure a default policy, block all traffic. Okay, and these are 3 default actions: block all traffic, intrusion prevention, and network discovery. So about these we will discuss in the next session. Okay, and right now we will use the block all traffic. That means from anywhere to anywhere, all the traffic is blocked. It doesn't matter from inside to outside, outside to inside. Okay, here we don't have the concept like, TCP, UDP inspection and all. All the traffic from everywhere to everywhere will be blocked. Click on save. Okay. And then if you want to enable any of these licenses, let's say malware license, threat license, and URL filtering license, if you want to enable, you can enable them and you can click on register. Now registration of your FTD on the FMC has started. Okay. So once your FTD will be added in the FMC, there will be a pre-deployment, and that pre-deployment will take a long time. Okay. Registration has started. So right now, if you see here, right now there is no deployment and anything is going on, right? But after this, configurations will be synchronized and all. After that, the deployment will start. But I hope right now you got the idea, right? How you will configure FDM on the FTD, as well as how you will integrate your FTD with the FMC, right? Okay, great. So now, it will take some time for the pre-deployment to come. And that is something that will happen automatically. We don't have to do anything. We just have to wait for it. Because until or unless your pre-deployment gets completed, we cannot go and deploy the IP addresses and anything else. Okay, so that part today it will be done automatically because the lab will remain on. Okay. And in the next session, when we will see, so we can directly see from the device management, like how to configure the IP addresses inside, outside DMZ interfaces and all. That part we can see from the next session. Clear? So any doubt you guys have in today's part? Anyone? No? Okay, then let's wind it up because again, like I said, it will take time. Okay. Even now you can see it has not come up. So the pre-deployment, it will take time to come here and then we have to again wait for it. So that directly we will do the device management in the next session. Okay. All right. So this is it for the day, guys. I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend.